Welcome to the show. Who's up next? Sunday, 10 a.m. Yeah. We check. Big fella in the chair. King talk, big glare. Gorilla on me in the air. We all there. We all there. West Coast clock on 10. Pacific time we tap in. Best stories, best jams, real ones, not pretend. Welcome to the Who's Up Next show. Turn it up, let the whole block know. Big fella got the mic, it's a go. Gorilla Army in the building, say whoa. Highlights hitting like a straight right blow. Interviews heavy, every question on gold. If you really wanna see who gon' blow, tune in, this the Who's Up Next show. Lights on, cameras tight. New star born live on sight. Big fella ass once talk right. We talk grind, we talk fight. Came from nothing, now they shine. Clip that moment, freezing time. Run it back, headline every Sunday, same time. Welcome to the Who's Up Next show. Turn it up, let the whole block know. Big fella got the mic, it's a go. Gorilla Army in the building, say whoa.
Welcome to the show. Man, thanks for joining me on this Sunday. It's been a crazy week for me, definitely trying to stay motivated, come in here and do what I do for you guys, and just put out the information that needs to be put out. We got some great athletes that are going to be on the show, as far as the Coast to Coast with Mark Gibson, Watchtower with Kevin Moses. We were supposed to have an interview, but apparently that kid did not show up. That's too bad, because I won't be offering that again to that kid. Sometimes you don't get a second chance to do the right things, and get get what you need to help you do what you do. So for that kid, it is what it is. We got a lot to talk about in general. Man, I had a video that I really wanted to show, and just rushing around. I'll talk about it though, but rushing around, I think I might have deleted it, just trying to get everything done. I'll look for it when I'm in one of these other clips playing them. Hey, what up, Adrian? But we'll get to the rest of the show. You can see the new stuff, the comments pop up on the screen, so you feel free to comment. But let's get into the NCAA stuff, and then I'll bounce back. Like I say, while some of the other videos are playing, I'll try to jump in and see about this other clip that somehow I missed. But let's jump into some NCAA news, because there's big information out there that's important. So let's get into it.
Breaking now, spotlight on the stories they ain't told yet. Clock's ticking, turn it up, we're just getting started. Who's up next?
Hey, so the NCAA is this week. There's a huge vote coming. That vote is to change how eligibility works. I reached out to a bunch of people because I want to make sure that they were watching the show. I had it announced that I was going to be talking about this Sunday. The NCAA is definitely, like, this thing is happening. I've been telling you guys for a little over a year now that there was rumblings about it, that there was some discussion about how this thing was going to play out with eligibility, stuff like that. So here's what happened. Again, listen, I'm always going to toot my own horn, right? You got to start listening to the big fella. I'm telling you, I got a voice in the room, so I get some information way ahead of time. That's why I've been discussing this for so long, and now it's actively being voted on this upcoming week, starting tomorrow, right? NCAA is going to go to 5 years. That's what the vote is. They're trying to kill two birds with one stone. I have seen a couple other people that somehow the information trickled out to that are discussing this, and they're getting the information wrong. Some people are trying to sell it as a way to stop kids from reclassing, but that is actually not true. It doesn't do that. So the way that this rule will work is you will be given 5 years of eligibility. That 5 years will start when you turn 19 or you graduate, whichever one is earlier, right? So technically, if you were going to graduate at 17, you can reclass. See what I'm saying? Like, so the men and women that are out there giving wrong information, um, you guys know who you are. I've reached out to you to tell you that that information isn't correct. So here's what you need to know. It's not a way to stop you from reclassing. If they wanted to stop you from reclassing, one, they'd say 18, but they didn't. It went from 19 or when you graduate. Then your 5-year clock starts, regardless of whether you go to college or not. The only waivers, there will be no red shirts, gray shirts, or waivers. The only waivers would be for religious service, like the Mormons when they go on their thing, or military service, or and the only medical waivers would be if you had like maternity leave or something like that. So it would be a straight 5, which means if you couldn't come back when you were 35 and play college ball because you didn't go to college right away. That was a huge opening that they had that they're changing. So that is what the rule actually is. So there's most kids are graduating when they're 17. Technically, they could reclass twice. They could reclass in junior high or once in elementary or in high school and then still make it when they're 19. Now, if you reclass and you're 19 and you're still in high school, you will lose a year because technically your clock started right then. So I want to be clear with that. I want to make sure that you're getting the correct information. The 5 years would basically be, it's not basically, it would be when you turn 19, your clock starts, or when you graduate, your clock starts, whichever one is earliest. So if you're going to reclass, you got an opportunity to reclass. Make sure that when this thing goes in effect, they're voting on it this week. This week is the vote. Guarantee it's going to pass. Guarantee it's going to pass because it stops the lawsuits, right? I was having this conversation about how lawsuits happen and how the NCAA keeps losing. So the NCAA keeps losing because whenever it comes to the financial side of things, they can't stop you. Antitrust is what keeps getting them hung up. And it's because they can't stop you from making money. I don't care if presidents sign executive orders or any of that. That looks good on TV, but in reality, it's the companies that have to turn around and enforce it. And realistically, you can't with antitrust because they can't tell you. Walmart can't tell a grocery store that they can't operate over here or over there to make money. They can't do it. You don't have that control. And as long as the NCAA doesn't make athletes employees, then it would be against antitrust. You have to have the ability to make whatever decisions you want to make. And that's how they were losing court cases. This will make it almost impossible for them to lose a court case when it comes to eligibility because it's across the board. It's 5 years, period, across the board. Doesn't matter if you're in D1, 2, or 3. Doesn't matter if you're in Ivy League, SEC. It doesn't matter where you're playing. It's across the board 5 years. Now, if you're a JUCO, or the way they're getting around the JUCO time and the NAIA time counting or not counting is by saying that your clock starts regardless for everyone the second you turn 19 or you graduate from high school. So it is going to hurt prep academies. It could possibly hurt JUCOs. I doubt that because you're going to see in a couple videos I got of college coaches saying that they're just not recruiting out of high school anymore. You have a lot of people complaining about that people are older in college and all the jokes. Nothing pisses me off more than the athletes that played in college, that didn't get money, that wish they had more time and wish all these things were in place. And then now they're back complaining to hurt the thing that they came up in. That's called jealousy. That's what that's called. And you see it all the time. Older players will walk into a stadium and be like, yo, these players get so much more than we got. They get so much of this or so much of that. If you're a boxer or you run track, there was better shoes, there was better gloves, there was better this, there was better that that they have now. So people sometimes get jealous of things. That sucks because they're just talking out of pettiness. But the big fella, I don't do all that emotional nonsense. So for me, I want to see everybody get what they deserve. Um, I'm cool with the 5 years across the board because 5 year reasonably at the D1 level, you need time to get good. You know what I'm saying? Like there, it's rare. It's a very rare feat that you come out of high school at 17, 18, and you're prepared to dominate in the Division 1 level of anything. I don't care if it's wrestling, track, baseball, football, basketball, softball. Like it's rare that you're going to come in and dominate because everyone's bigger, faster, stronger, right? Has more information. They've gotten better care. They've gotten better training. So the 5 years across the board allows you to be good enough to get in. And then if you have to use a year, I like it so much better than a red shirt year because I get to participate for the whole year with my team and I still have 4 years to compete and do my thing. So I can learn on the job. I don't need coach to start me day one. I could get in there, cut my teeth a little bit, learn a little something, get used to the pace. And then, for the next couple years, I can bang it out instead of a coach feeling like they got to give me a certain amount of games and get me out of here and then put me on red shirt, which means I can't do some stuff. And so it's like it's a better scenario to me. 5 years across the board is a better scenario to me because then you can't choose to just go out, hang out, and then decide to come back and go to college. Go leave here, go there, do your business. I agree with the service. I agree with the religious service, and I agree with the maternity leave. Um, it, I think it's a better proposal. I think it's going to help the system. And for all you high school parents that are like, "Oh my God, this is going to help my kid," no, it's not. It's not because at the end of the day, the transfer portal. The president put a thing in there for the transfers too. They didn't pick that up. You know why? Because they can't. They absolutely cannot tell you that you only have one transfer. There's too many arguments, too many variables. Unless you're going to tell a coach that he can't transfer or she can't transfer, unless you're going to like there's so many things that are in place before you can tell one set of people that they can't do something except for one time or there's a penalty. So they're not going to touch that. But that 5 years is coming and they're talking about pushing it off by there's some talks about implementing it in the fall and grandfathering in the athletes that were before. I listen, if you're a freshman and they ask you, do you want to stay grandfather or do you want the 5 years? Take the 5 years. Get 4 more years. The Screw the red shirt. All that. Screw all the grays, reds. Hope that you don't get a medical waiver, but let all that go. Ask for the 5. Take the 5 so you have more time to do what you want to do. Um, that's just how this thing is rolling. It's important for you kids that are younger, freshmen, 8th grade and on. Know that this is the world that you're going to come into is the 5 years. If you need to reclass, start doing that stuff now. Look at your grade, how old you are. Make sure that you're not going to turn 19, like even in the school year, right? Say you play football, you're going to be 18, but you're going to turn 19 in the spring. Remember that your clock starts right then and there. If you turn 19 in the spring, your college clock is starting. You won't if you play football, you won't lose a year. If you play basketball, you're going to lose a little bit of time. You play baseball, you're going to lose a little bit of time. Softball, you're going to lose a little bit of time. Like, see what I'm saying? Depending on your sport, track, you're going to lose some time. So please make sure that you're working these things out. If you have questions, you know where to hit the big fella. Who's up next 23 over at X, and you know what it is. The Who's Up Next show at Gmail. We'll get you some answers, or just go to Complete College Prospects. Like, I'm done playing the games. We're not kissing butt anymore. If you're not at Complete College Prospect, you should be. If you're a high school athlete, a youth athlete, you should be. They're being very big about the 10 and 7 as well for eligibility. They're about to really dial this thing down. Thank you for info. Oh, you're welcome. You're definitely welcome. Um, uh, They are definitely cracking down on the 10 and 7. If you don't understand what it is, complete college prospects. I know these things get very tricky when it comes to the NCAA, but complete college prospects. Like I could keep telling you, but the complete college prospects is going to walk you through the process, right? If you're in junior high, going to walk you through making sure everything is on point in high school so that college is easy. If you're in high school, going to walk you in the door of college so it's easy as long as you're doing your part. If you're in college, you JUCO, NAIA, you're trying to transfer, whatever, you in the NCAA, you're trying to transfer a different place, complete college prospects. You know, like I don't know what else to tell you. That's where you want to be to build up what you want to build up, and to get the information that you want to get and have someone walk you through. That's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. You know, it's not going to cost you thousands of dollars, or nonsense plans where there's this plan and this plan and this plan. Which one can you afford? When we all know that in order to get where you're going, you need the top plan. Over at Complete College Prospects, there's one plan. So that's what I'm going to tell you off the top. Period. I should have put up the. I'll try to look for the flyer because there's a webinar Saturday, to let people see behind the scenes at Complete College Prospects, see how the whole website worked, the private pages, everything, that to help people out and ask questions. But I'll get that during one of these videos. Don't play with the NCAA. Now, here's something that was very interesting when it came across. I was taking a look at it. There, you see a very big difference for you guys and girls that are on the, like, let's say, to the west of the Mason-Dixon line or the Mississippi, whichever one um, you notice that you don't have as many offers, but you're looking at your counterparts on the East Coast and you're like, oh my God, they got 30, 40, 50 offers from D1s, 2s, 3s, JUCOs, NAIAs. It's because it's a more dense population and that's where everything started. So I wanted to get the map for you guys so that you can understand it and see it for yourself. When you're on the West Coast, this is what the Division I map looks like for Division I schools. Now, Texas is on par with damn near any state. California, of course. But if you notice, it gets very sparse. If you don't know what that means, it means that like there's not a lot. There's not a lot of density of colleges. D1s, 2s, 3s, NAIAs, JUCOs. There's not a lot of density. But if you look at the Division I map here, you'll notice that on the East Coast, most schools are within 100 miles. Like if you live in North Carolina, you're within 100 miles of like 6 D1 schools. So those coaches don't have to hop on a plane to come see you. They can just drive over one weekend, whatever, during the week, come talk to whoever. So that's why you see these kids out that way end up with more offers. It's less travel. You got to be outstanding if you're out this way, and then you want to accumulate a significant amount of offers. I don't want to deter anybody from living where you live or what you do, but understand that you can't. At some point, you've got to go to camps on the other side of the country. You've got to put yourself in that mix. Save your money if you don't have the money. Find somebody like me that's going to at least say, here's where those camps are. We think that these are the ones you should do, and then find a way to get there. It's a lot more valuable, and I'm not going to knock Under Armour or anything like that. But let's be honest, if you're not rated in the top 100 for Under Armour on football, realistically, so what? You know what I'm saying? You should take that money if you haven't gotten an offer or two or some looks or some conversation by your end of your sophomore year. You should start, depending on what level it is. Let's be honest, everybody talks to everybody, so we're not even going to say that. By the end of your sophomore year, you don't have a good read. You should start going to some mid to east and south colleges and camps and things like that and tournaments. It's just what you have to do if you want to go D1. That's just the truth. Again, I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear. That's the map. That's the reality of the situation. If you are playing AAU and your team is not hitting the South and the East, you're going to have problems. You're not going to get seen. Soccer, football, basketball, softball, baseball is unique, so I'm not going to go into that. Wrestling is unique, so I'm not going to go into that. But for most of these other major sports, you got to go in that direction. It's period. You don't have a choice if you want to be seen by major schools, period. That's free $1 million information for you right there. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm gonna tell you, I'm always gonna plug it. Go to Complete College Prospects if you need help, man. That's it. Kids do it every day. We are about 4 weeks out, 5 weeks out from my kids show that's coming. We now have all of the actors voted on and included. So look forward to seeing it. It's separate from my show. It's basically like a Nickelodeon type show, but it's called the Chaos Club. It's going to be amazing. I know those kids are excited. I'm excited for them. And I think it's going to be an amazing venture to let these kids grow and do what they do. But I'm super, super excited for the Chaos Club. It's gonna be great, absolutely great. And then what else do we got going on? CCP Media Network here has Blueprint Studios here that does photography, and there's studios for rent and all that stuff. You can find that at the ccprospects.com. You could go over there and do all of that. I want to get all of this stuff out the way before we bang out. And now we're going to it. Let's go. Hey, listen, if we have sent out a lot of invites for people to come on the show. If you say you're going to be on the show and then you don't show up, I'm petty. I want to be as clear as day. I will take the shirt off my back to help a kid make it to where they're trying to go, right? I just will. People that know me will tell you how much I sacrifice to help kids get where they're going. Excuse me. If you are unprofessional and don't show up when you schedule something, you will not get a second chance because there's no reason to. If you can't be professional enough to handle this business, then I can't tell any coach that you're professional enough to go play college ball anywhere. That's just the truth of the matter. I can't co-sign you. I can't do anything for you. That's just done because this is a business. Go back to what I told you guys about the NCAA and the rules, right? About the rule change and what they can do and antitrust. Antitrust only works if business to business. It doesn't necessarily work business to person, right? As athletes, you are a corporation. The only difference is, are you a Fortune 500 company, or are you a mom and pop dollar store down the street one-off company, right? I'm not bringing the person on the show who doesn't handle business because you're not ready for the NIL, the contracts, and all the other stuff and the responsibilities and signing autographs and doing all the things that you're going to be required to do, plus going to class and everything else. If you can't do something this small, I can't support you. So I just need that to be understood. So if you hear that the big fella didn't give a kid a second chance, I didn't. If they were supposed to be on the show, other stuff is fine. But if you were supposed to be on this show, that's an obligation. We do it in advance. You picked your day. If you don't come on the show and you don't communicate, it's on you. So if you hear something, yes, that happened. Yes, we did. Yes, we said no. There you go. I just want to be as clear as day. This is business. I want kids and families to start understanding how much sports are business. Youth sports are business. High school sports are business. College is not even college. You're going to see it here in a second. It's professional sports. And NIL is trickling down to high school. So you damn near about to be semi-pro yourself. So there you go. It's that simple. So I need you to handle your business and grow. All right, let's go. I played this one a couple weeks ago. I want to play it again just because I want people to understand this. Parents, there's always another chance to fix you. Just because someone else won't give you a second chance, there's always a second chance to make a run yourself. If you're an athlete, maybe you didn't make the varsity team your freshman year or your sophomore year, don't give up. Maybe you go to college, you didn't go on a scholarship, but you got there, you want to try to walk on, go try. Don't deprive yourself of the opportunity, period. Never do that, right? Never do that. And this is what this is about.
I wish you knew that you could do nothing right Literally make every wrong decision for the next 19 years of your life, live a tired other life, and still be young as fuck to go and win. You could spend the next 40 years of your life being super wrong and then at 59 figure it out and have a 10-year run that made you right. Life is sports. Just because you're losing at halftime doesn't mean it's over. You know how many 50, 60-year-olds are here thinking they're wrapping it up when they're gonna live another 40 fucking years? The fuck are you wrapping up? You understand?
Yeah.
The fuck are you thinking about at 19? Don't do shit.
Listen, if you are, I'm serious. I'm so serious. If you've never played sports before and you get to high school and you think it's too late because you think people are so much better, why stop yourself? This is the time. I'm adding a second camera because I need this. This is the times when I need to have a close up and zoom in and say what I got to say. Let the world stop you. Never stop yourself. Never. I don't care what it is. And I mean that. I don't care what it is. If there's some girl or boy that you like, you think maybe they're above you, they're not. Go talk to them. There's somebody you want to be friends with, but you're nervous, go talk to them. There's something you want to try, you want to learn something at school, you want to go to school and become something, go try. Whatever it is, don't handcuff yourself because of doubt. Don't do that. There's plenty of, listen, the world is full of people and things that will tell you that you can't do something or that you shouldn't do something or that you're not good enough or pretty enough or tall enough or whatever it is. Trust me, life will do that plenty. So never do it to yourself. Never do it to yourself. It's never too late to give it a shot. And I mean that. I absolutely mean that. It's never too late to give it a shot. So hopefully some of y'all take that to heart. The other video I was going to show, let me see something. Lion, Patino, blah, 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 blah. I don't know how I missed it. So there's a lady here in Las Vegas, and she was looking for training for her daughter for volleyball. She's ready. Her daughter's going to play she's about to play on a traveling team. So she was looking for training. She went to speak with a lady, and the lady's deal here was, it was like $600 for like 5 sessions or 8 sessions. And it cost $600. She had the basketball, the volleyball facilities and everything else. So the mom was like, she just wanted to check. I'm definitely putting it on next week. She wanted to check to see if that was the going price. And so there was another volleyball coach here that was like, yes. If they have the facilities and everything else, yes, that's the price. I think that people get caught up in, because I've gone through this, right? I've had people that are like, man, I can't believe you charge this when this other person charges that. And I'm like, yeah, they charge that because they're at a park. They have no overhead. They're at a park. They don't actually have any facilities for you. What they own is some cones. They own a set of cones and a ball, and they're going to come out here and they're going to do that. I'm like, I have a facility that you train at. I have a key to every turfed high school field in the Las Vegas city. You know what I'm saying? Henderson, all that. I have access to all the fields. So of course I charge what I charge. And so I think people forget that they're not, when you have a trainer, you're not paying for, you think you're paying for the physical training, kinda. What you're paying for is the information that they give you, and information is valuable. It's a commodity. If they happen to have facilities as well, you know what I'm saying? If I want to take you to work out and lift weights, you come to my facility for that. If I want to take you to a field, I don't take you to the park. I take you to a field. I get you what you need because I have access, right? You're paying for that. And so some people decide to be extremely cheap. And I've had these discussions. If you're not ready to pay for the quality, there is always someone cheaper, but you get what you pay for. I want to be as clear as I can about that. You get what you pay for. And I was telling some parents like that to bring their kids to me, you know, there's the flashiness of the guy at the park that has the cones and he's, you know, showing whatever with whatever ability, and it looks nice, right? But that doesn't translate. If it did, it would have translated for that person. It doesn't matter if they got up to a certain level, right? It matters that if it worked for that person, that doesn't mean it works for you. So this is, I just want to help you parents out there that are going to these trainers to understand this. If a trainer has a cookie cutter system, everybody does the same thing, then that's not a good system. Because what your kid needs and what this kid over here needs is going to be two different things. They could have the exact same position, but they need two different things. If it's basketball, this kid might be tall, have great, bounce. This kid might be tall, has no bounce. You got to teach them differently. You got to address it differently. Cookie cutter systems don't work, even for quarterbacks. Nothing drives me crazier than when you go to certain coaches and they're like, rotate, arm back, straight up, do this, use the towel. Not every quarterback does that. Not every quarterback operates like that. We can look at the NFL and college and see that clear as day. Doesn't work like that. That's why you have pocket, dual threat, true. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is why you have that, because there's differences to all of this stuff. And so it depends on if you're with a trainer that can't see that your kid needs something different, you're not in the right place. That's period. And if you're listening, watching this show and you come to me and that's what you're expecting, I'm just going to tell you, you got to go somewhere else. I've dealt with parents that complain for years and it's like, oh my God, well, we could be doing it. Yeah, go do that. But my kids are better than those. I'm super cocky about that part because they're being built for the real situation. If you got a trainer that's training you at your age level, wrong trainer. I'm just being a buck. If you have a trainer that's training you, if you're 10, 12, 15, and your trainer's training you at that level to compete, I promise you're not going to compete. You're not going to compete at all. If your trainer is talking to you in the same terminology at your level, you're not going to do it, because you should be, when you get to high school, you should understand terminology. When you get to college, you should understand terminology. That in itself will put you ahead of the game. So you should be being spoken to at a higher level. So there you go. But I wish I had the video, man. I will put it up next week because I thought it was really good that she found out, like, wait, there's people that train that actually cost so much more and it's reasonable. That's just how this thing works out. It's what it is. It's how it's supposed to be. And that's it, man. Let's keep it pushing. You know what? Let's go. My favorite people, because we're almost there. We're a month and a half away from this amazing event. And I just want to keep pushing until we get over the finish line. Minnesota 2026 Special Olympics. Let's do it.
We up. Who's up next? They up. Let's go. Hey, early bus, late shoe, new flame, name tag hanging like a gold chain. Hey. Mama in the stand, got her both fans raised. Coach yelling out, this your big game. Wheelchair, track spikes, high hope, Rams, lanes, bright paint, white smoke, whole world say can. They say watch this, turn every doubt to a target, they drop quick. Who's up next? Who's up next? Whole crowd on their feet, that's respect. Every lane, every court, every rep, we don't fall, we flex. This is our time, yeah, this our set. Special hearts, heavy metals on the chest. We don't guess, we say it with our chest. Who's up next? Who's up next? We up, yeah. Handshake, fist bump, same dream. Different path, same fight, same team. Got a runner in blaze, got a hooper on wheels, got a swimmer on the blocks, chasing real feels. Camera lights, blue shirts say who's up. Big screen, show the grind, not the luck. Every try, every fall, they would stand tall. all turn too small? Do I want it all?
You already know how I feel about it. I love the Special Olympics. I love everything they do. I am super excited about the events and the participants and just the world coming together in a crazy time to support these special athletes that work their butts off to compete. And it's just an amazing partnership that I'm proud to have here at the Who's Up Next show and for Complete College Prospects. It's just it means so like it may be so for Complete College Prospects we've put over 1,200 athletes and students into college, and we're proud of that, right? We boast, I think we're at like a 92-93% success rate for the kids that do everything they're supposed to do. We're like super excited. But for me, the most exciting thing that I will have done in 2026 will be that because it just to bring that kind of awareness to something that I didn't understand as an athlete. I got it, but I didn't get it. I didn't appreciate it. But I get it now. And so it's something that I'm just super proud of. I love when we set up the videos. I love watching. I never get tired of it. I'm gonna be just as dialed in as I am when I'm watching the regular Olympics. I'm gonna get all that streamed. I'm excited. I love it. I'm proud of the partnership, and I just think that that's one of the major things that we have done, and it just means the world to me. So, yeah, Special Olympics, June, Minnesota. Let's go get it. Let's see. Oh, you already know. If you like the show, click that button. You know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I want to see you. You're part of the army. So, lock in, subscribe to the show, share with your friends. Sundays is the place to be. I do have one athlete. So, what I said earlier about athletes, you can talk to me or my people, right? I had one athlete that said, I'm normally playing on Sundays. So I'd like to see if we could pre-record it, if that's possible. Absolutely. Me and the kid gonna lock in. We're gonna get a pre-recorded interview in. I'll show it on the show. See, that's called handling your business. You can't make something else, but you don't want to miss the opportunity. So you create another lane so that you still get the opportunity. I've seen kids literally get scholarships after being on this show. And I'm not talking about like 2-3 days later. I've seen kids get scholarships the same day because they send us a message. They DM us. I've seen kids make AAU teams that and traveling football 7-on-7 teams that they didn't even like right after being on the show. I've seen this thing happen over the years, right? So it's an opportunity that you shouldn't miss. I know there's a bad let's deal with the elephant in the room. I know that the idea of a recruiting company or an exposure company sometimes leaves a bad taste in people's mouth because there's such terrible ass companies out there that don't do the job. But that's why, again, I'm gonna say what I gotta say about Complete College Prospect because over there we don't do that, right? Yes, we dabble, like we take care of NIL, we take care of exposure, we take care of recruiting, we take care of education. We take care of so many things, right? That's why when you get a rating at Complete College Prospects, someone might tell you you're a 3-star, that you're not a 3-star as an athlete. But if I'm being honest, most 3, 4, 5 stars, some of them don't even go to college because they're missing all the other stuff. When you get rated at Complete College Prospects, you rated on your NIL readiness, your college readiness, your athletic ability. You're rated on all of this stuff about you. And then you get a number. That's why nobody argues the number, right? Because how can you argue it? And you get a breakdown of what's what and what you need to do. And then you get a 90-day, go do these things. All that part is free. That's how crazy it is, right? You can't even talk to other people to get anything, but that part you get for free. The rating part you get for free because no one should charge you to be rated. That's insanity. And then there you go, right? And then even on the free side, there's a single sheet report for colleges that's kept at Complete College Prospects headquarters, right? In order, if a coach was to reach out about you. It's not a thorough report. It's not a dossier like we build for actual clients, but there's still a report. Because you were rated, there's a report. That's the easy part. Now, the dossier definitely going to get you locked in, but the report is there in case a coach reaches out for you. Just has curiosity about you, or you want to reach out and see what else was on there. You could get the one-page coach sheet, see what's being said about you. That's special, right? But again, I digress. Let's get back to the show. Let's go Watchtower. Yeah. Kev sent me 5 of you guys this week. So if your clip is a little, Kev said 5. I appreciate it. All 5 athletes are amazing. You know what I'm saying? But he sent 5 of you guys and girls. And I think you're all great for sure. I've seen the video. So we're going to get into that. Let's do it.
Yeah. Who's up next? Tell me who's up next now. Kudo to the set, like low, hard jump. Name up on the board, one shot, big stunt. From the Watchtower view, I see them all lined up. Diamonds in the dust, to the right one shined up. They say Kevin Moses, you a long shot kid. How they chant that name every time that I skip. This don't miss, wrist locked in. Hit after hit, yeah, I live that script. From the Watchtower, I keep on finding those diamonds in the rough still shining. Kevin Moses, just don't miss. Keep shining, young star like this. From the Watchtower, I keep on finding little sparks that the world still climbing. Kevin Moses, just don't miss. Keep shining, young star like this. Hey, phones in the crowd, and stay cool, still sway. Grandma in the kitchen, same groove, same day. Said, baby, if it blow, they gon' feel that flame. So I drop one song, whole block know my name. I didn't call the show just to catch my wave. Every underdog dream that I tried to save. I see one kid, notebook, head down, shine. I tell him, look up, there's your name in the sky. From the Watchtower, I keep on finding those diamonds in the rough still shine. Kevin Moses, just don't miss. Keep shining, young star like this. From the Watchtower, I keep on finding little sparks that the world still blind. Kevin Moses, just don't miss. Keep shining, young star like hands up high if you feel that fire. Keep shining, young star. One time for the late night ride. From the Watchtower. Every new turn to one, you're high. Stay bright, go high. Every rough stone turn to sapphire. From the Watchtower, I keep on finding those diamonds in the rough still shining. Kevin Moses, just don't miss. Keep shining, young star like this. From the Watchtower, I keep on finding little sparks that the world still blinding. Kevin Moses, just don't miss.
Hey, Kevin ain't the only one. Mark did it too. Like for some reason this week, they were just throwing out athletes that again, all great athletes. So we're going to get to coast here a little bit later. I did want to show this here. Coaches, because there's college coaches that watch this show. We have, we talk after and throughout the week about different things. Coaches, I don't know if this is a referendum on the coach or just the fact that, the transfer portal is what it is. But at the University of Tennessee women's basketball, the entire team did. So had 4 or 5 seniors. Everybody else went into the portal. 2 people that were supposed to come in 2026, one of them asked out to get out of her NIL contract and to be able to open up her recruiting and go somewhere else. So currently, Tennessee women's basketball has 1 player. I know that it seems rough, but there was, I'm trying to remember which football team it was. It happened there too, where an entire team, I think it was Marshall, like last year or something like that, that the entire team left. This is the new reality. Coaches, if it's a coaching thing over at Tennessee, coaches, you got to be better. you got to be better at your job. You got to do better things. You guys got to give a better reason for kids to stay. You just do. You have to. I know that you don't, for you coaches, you're so used to when you guys had all the power, but that's not the case anymore. It's a pretty even battlefield out there. Yes, now you have to do the extra things to keep athletes. LSU started a whole reality TV show in order to get athletes and keep athletes. You have to do whatever it is you have to do. It's just what it is. There's nothing we can do about that. But you need to, definitely figure it out. This next video I wanted to get into for the simple fact that it's a little bit longer video. But the point, I think, so this guy, I'm not knocking his business. He gets a lot of kids into college. I'm not knocking his business at all, but I want to talk about his statement in this is that he's upset at the coaches for lying to other coaches about kids to try to keep them. But he doesn't have a problem with a different type of lying. And that was in his comments. He responded to somebody in the comments. And I'm gonna tell you guys what he said when we come out the other side. But I agree with them on coaches lying to keep kids just because you don't want them to go somewhere else. I think that's trash and hurting their recruiting. That's absolute garbage. But we're gonna talk about what happened and what he said.
Rico knows here, and I'm going to need TikTok to do its thing. I need all of you to like, share, comment, tag a friend, but this video needs to get out to all the young men out there who want to play college football. What you see behind me is a tweet that I wrote on X yesterday, and I tagged 2 coaches. The tweet clearly says, "Dear Lackawanna College, I have a concern within your program, and I'd like to hear from either the head coach or the offensive coordinator." Shout out to Mark Ross and Ray Dayton. And I told them, I sent them a link in their DMs. Please reach back out to me as soon as possible. So let's provide some context. Some of you might be asking, who the hell am I? I'm a talent evaluator. Let's talk about Lackawanna College. Historically, this is a JUCO. And a junior college's identity is to sign players and get them up and out. If you're gray shirt, you'll be there 3 years. If you don't, you'll be there 2 years. If you're a full qualifier, 1 year. But typically, you're trying to get players to come to your program and leave. And your great claim to fame is if you can get them a Division I offer. But Lackawanna has something very unique this year. They're transitioning from a JUCO program or junior college program to a Division II program. And that's incredible. Shout out to them, their coaches, and everything. But then I started getting DMs from their players. You see, I put out my hidden gems list, and there are 3 Lackawanna players on those lists. And those 3 players are all very good. But for whatever reason, they have minimal offers. And then I started getting these messages. If any coaches ask if I'm leaving, I'm graduating, I want to leave. I said, where is this coming from? And it turns out, anytime a player tries to transfer away from Lackawanna, the offensive coordinator and the defensive backs coach have gone out of their way to tell other coaches, oh, these players aren't transferring. They're staying with us to transition to Division II. They want to play for us. And that brings us back to this message, where the young man told me, I have given out my coach's phone number to other coaches who are recruiting me. And after they call my positions coach, they don't ever call back. So what is that positions coach saying about you? And that's why this young man said they can't say anything negative about me. I never missed a lift, and I have a 4.0 GPA. Says he never missed a practice. Why wouldn't you have glowing reviews for these young men? So the offensive coordinator at Lackawanna did follow me back on Twitter. I told him I have a major concern with his program. Please watch the video. He said there is no video. Then I sent him the link again, because you can see up there where I sent it the first time. Here's the second time. And then I made it very clear. I have 3 players that have reached out to me. I'd like to know if you have any additional context or information in regard to their claim that you're actively telling coaches they're not transferring and have a desire to stay with your program. I want you to know, in that video, I clearly stated everything. And I told them I want them to own this, tell me what they're doing about it, and please don't tell me they're sabotaging these players' careers for the sake of trying to keep them on their team. I said these young men have expressed fear that they'll be blackballed in recruiting, that they won't be allowed to lift weights, and there's this perception that you didn't support their transfer to other programs because you want to keep them for yourselves. And I never heard back from this coach. I gave them 24 hours to respond. But before I made this video, I wanted to simmer down because I'm thoroughly upset that there are adults in this world in decision-making authority who are not operating with integrity, they're not putting the players first, and they're blatantly lying to other coaches in the profession. But after talking to additional coaches, they all feel the same way. This coach.
So, and again, you guys know me. I don't I won't support anybody doing anything or their company if they're not good at what they do and the athletes aren't first. So I do want to start with this. Rico does a very good job of connecting kids with colleges when it comes to football. He does. I have no complaints there. I have no problem supporting that situation. Even though we do what we do, I don't have a problem with supporting that. That being said, where I got disappointed, hold on in the comments. Thanks, the information is on point. This should be just like a job. When you leave, you absolutely cannot say anything negative about someone if they are trying to transfer. That's bananas. Coaches are ridiculous. So back to the video, right? In the comments, an athlete came in and said, I was done like this at my school. Coaches lied to me and stole my time because they told me I was going to be a starter and this and that. And then I got there and nothing happened. This was a comment. You could go to Rico's page on Twitter. You could go to this same video. You could look in there. You'll see it. And Rico's exact words back to this kid was, I don't have a problem with coaches lying to athletes. I have a problem with coaches lying to other coaches. That's when I got disappointed in what Rico said, right? Because I have a problem with both. I don't believe that a coach should lie to another coach on a player. If you have a good player and they want to transfer, then let them transfer. You know what I'm saying? That's like trying to keep your husband or wife or girlfriend or boyfriend and they don't want to be with you anymore. You got to let them go. You know, they don't try to bash them because they want to go, you know? It's a decision. They want to move on to something that they think is better. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know, but you shouldn't be lying. My problem with what Rico said is we've got to stop the idea that these coaches could lie to these players just so that they could warehouse players. Hands down, I'm trying to hold my tongue in a situation because but change is coming anyway for somebody for me. But you know what? Other kids have said it. Ottawa out in Arizona. There's no reason that you should have 200 players on your team, on your roster. That's absolute insanity. You push at 12 quarterbacks, looked like there was about 25, 30 receivers. It's insanity. You're not going to play all those players. It makes no sense. Stop telling players what you're going to do and what you're not going to do when you know that that's not how you're going to do it. I'm not going to call out the coach or anything like that. But I personally, you should understand that we will never recommend a kid to go to Ottawa in Arizona. That won't happen. Not as long as they hold their system the way that they're holding it. Really good linebacker Cooper. You guys have seen him on here. He had a visit out there, and I was, I'm happy he chose to go where he's going. Got a long snapper, Jelly. He's going to Mayville instead of going out there. We had a conversation. I'm happy that he's making the move he's making. I'm actively not representing Ottawa in anything when I'm talking to any athletes because I've now seen the system and I think that it's nonsense. You coaches, you have a responsibility to tell these young men and women the truth. If they can start in your program, great. If they're not going to start in your program, that's okay too. But be honest with them and say, hey, you're not going to start today. We like you. We like everything we see. We're going to do this and do this and do this, and then have a reasonable amount of damn players. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason that every position, just because you're trying to make sure you don't miss anything, because what you take up is time that these athletes can't get back. And even with this new 5-year rule coming into effect, same thing, it's still 5 years and then they're done. Every second that you take, but you know what? I can't just blame the coaches. Parents, it's on you too. Look, with my experience and everything, I know I should have been more I was always hands-on with my kid. I tried to be relaxed and let him make some decisions when it came to going to college in his senior year and training for his senior year and doing this and that. And it's been a nightmare, you know what I'm saying? But that's not my son's fault. That's my fault because my job is to get him. He says, Dad, this is the dream. My job is to make the dream happen, right? So my job, if I have the information, if I don't have the information, my job is to go look for the information. But I have the damn information. I do this with kids all the time, right? So my job was to say, nope, we're doing it like this. Don't care what you want. Don't care where you want to go. This is how we're going to do the thing. Because if the goal has changed, just tell me the goal's changed. If the goals change, then I'll do something different. But if the goal is the same, then here's the plan. My son's coming home for the summer. We making some decisions, and he has a training schedule. He's on a pro training schedule to peak when it's time to show up for a camp, right? That's what we're doing. That's how it's going down, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like that's it. Parents, you got to start listening to these coaches and don't let them blow smoke. Don't let your kid get caught up in the feelings. It's not feelings. We know this to be a fact. Plenty of when they're trying to date you, when they want to date you, these coaches tell you anything. You got to see what the coaches do. Now, I can't speak on my son's situation right now. We'll talk about that in about 3 weeks. But there are coaches out there that show you, that roll out the red carpet. And when they roll out the red carpet, those coaches are now, they're letting you know that they mean it. They want to marry you. They don't want to just date you. They don't want to just warehouse you. And that's what you got to look for. Do your homework. How many players they got in your athlete's position? Do your homework. How many of these players, if it's a lower tier, how many of them bounce up? How many people graduate? What's the success rate for their athletes? Just in general. This is what you need to know. This is the information that you need to have. Again, take your butt over to Complete College Prospect. There's a new intake form, right, that you can see after the intake. They everything is done. You're scored out to see what your recruitability is. You get a score. You can see it. It's on the screen in the Zoom. You can see everything, right? That stuff is there, so you know how recruitable you are, where you are in the moment that you're in. So then you know when you go to these schools, are they really blowing smoke? Or are you definitely an on the board player for them? Because these coaches, that's the only thing, Rico. I support everything else you do, my brother. Everything else you do, I think is dialed in, locked in. It's fantastic. I didn't like that comment. I was super disappointed when I heard it, because we shouldn't, even if we know it happens, but we shouldn't promote it. We shouldn't promote it as an okay thing. We know it's a part of the system. I know it, you know it, but we shouldn't promote it. We should never say that it's okay to lie to the kids, but it's not okay to lie coach to coach. We should never say that. Because if we're being real about that, and that being the case, we should just make everybody get a height measurement and a weight measurement before they ever play in any game, no matter what. Let's be real. Everyone's lying. Every coach is lying. Dudes are not as tall or as big or doing whatever. Same with the girl. Like, it's just not like that. We know that to be a fact. That is an absolute fact, that those numbers are tweaked and everything else. So the lie is perpetual. But we should recommend that these coaches are truthful with these kids as well as with other coaches. Time is of the essence. We should not allow them to steal a kid's time as a kid. That's how I'm gonna put it. Those years are precious, and when they're gone, they're gone. You can't get them back. So that's it, Rico. That's it. Outside of that, bro, you killing the game. I like what you're doing. I appreciate the fact that you called out Lackawanna College, because now you know we ain't gonna be recommending it either until they fix some things over there. But just a comment. I have no other complaints. I just want to put it on the show for the comment, my guy. Let's see what we got. Shame on coaches who warehouse kids and lie about recruiting. You are truly effectively screwing over these athletes. Facts. Let's go to, hey, Rick Pitino, man. Nah, you know what? Before we get there, parents, athletes, whatever your job is, man. I don't know if you guys saw, but in Chicago, they're opening up a school that is completely AI taught. Completely. It's private. I think they said it's going to be between 35 and 55,000 a year to attend. I've seen some people in the comments that were like, hey, I would never send my kid to something like that. The first part of the day is getting all the curriculum done. The second part of the day is actual people teaching that are in there to teach starting a business, free thinking as far as like creating something and other stuff like that. I have said on this show plenty of times. There is a very big difference about what people with will allow their kids to be taught compared to public schools. Public schools are exactly what Rockefeller wanted. It is, you are being taught to be an employee, period. So they've got AI, perfect training, right? The AI system is going to tell you what's in the system, what's out there. So that's what's going to be taught. So that's teaching the curriculum, but the rest of it will be people coming in, spending half the day teaching their kids how to start corporations, invest money, things like that. Things that you don't get in public school, and we should require public schools to do. When they had automotive, cooking, metal and wood workshops, that's what that was, and they took that out for a reason. They needed employees. So we've got to fix this to make sure that you understand what your kids are being taught, because it's going to be a whole lot worse. And here's how you know.
California, that's where the world's first ever fully autonomous AI-powered restaurant has opened, complete with burger flipping bots.
This automated grill gives the meat its sizzle as this restaurant goes robotic.
For this burger, it would take about 120 seconds.
Cali Express by Flippy is the world's first AI-powered eatery. There's new technology outside the kitchen, too. A cheeseburger. Order kiosks use facial recognition to remember you, your favorite food, and how you like to pay. Then watch the robots work. No humans required.
We can't get enough people to come out to work on fryers and grills. They're dangerous jobs. And this automation helps solve a lot of those issues.
Hello, I have someone? 62% of restaurants report being understaffed. Industry experts say most of those unfilled jobs could be done by robots.
Listen, the reason when you watch the Who's Up Next show, you're part of the Guerrilla Army. We don't just talk about sports. We talk about life, right? Because sports is life. Life is sports. It's all one big ass circle, right? Athletes, stop just going to school taking business. If I go to another school and most of you guys say business, I'm gonna slap people, man. I swear to you, I'm gonna just start slapping athletes all through the building. You've got to be better than that. That was good when we were in school to say business. It's simple. You can do some stuff. It's whatever. And the degree works in certain instances. But right now, you guys, if you're going to go to business, you need to get involved with technology as well. You guys need to, because if they can get, there are full-on trucking companies that are running semi-trucks store to store that are automated, right? I was at a restaurant in Wisconsin when my kid was going for there for his freshman year. We were at a restaurant. We were served by a robot, full on served by a robot. So I'm telling you, a lot of those jobs are kids' jobs. A McDonald's, that's supposed to be a kid's job. You have that when you're growing up. It's a little something you could do, make a little bread while you're in high school, save up. So you take that with you to college or whatever you're going to do. That's what that was. Then the adults start taking it in the 2000s. The adults started swooping in, snatching up all those jobs. Now it's robots. You're not going to beat out AI. You're not going to beat out these systems. And I don't know if y'all caught it. When you come to the kiosk, the kiosk takes facial recognition, so it remembers what you like. So then the next time it sees you, it's like, hey, big fella, we know you like this, this, and this. Would you like to order that again? They know how you like to pay. Hey, you want us to pay with the same system, same type of currency? Yeah, take care of that. That is personal service, right? So it's going to be successful. I'm telling you, you athletes, start thinking about these things. Don't just be an athlete and go out there and play a sport. While you're in school, figure out a way to use your money later, right? Don't just, no one taught us this. No one, I'm telling you, not all the way to pros, no one was teaching us how to take care of our money. No one was teaching us how to do anything or what we should go to school for, or any of that. I'm the big fella's telling you, if you're part of the Army, I'm telling you, if you're a parent, I don't care, a teacher, a coach, I'm telling you, start turning around and talking to these athletes and saying, hey, take business so you know how to be in business and start a business, but start taking technology, start thinking of ideas of things you could do with your money. Don't just go get the money. Figure out what you can do with your money so your money's making money. If someone tells you just put your money in the bank, that's stupid. That's not just that's static money. That money's not making any money. You need your money to be active. You need your money to be out there making money so that then you don't need sports. You don't have to stay till you can't walk. You don't have to stay till you have CTE. You don't have to stay till like it's all messed up. You have options because you're starting something else. Today, Shaq's one of the most dominant basketball players that ever played the game, but he is more famous for being a businessman. His entrepreneurial ideas and things that he's created are way beyond him as an athlete. That is fact. So please, I am begging you, athletes, I am begging you, because I'm there, right? Stop it. Technology, please, like I'm begging you. And if you don't want to get into technology, fine. Parents, just close your ears. You're going to be pissed off about what I'm about to say. College is not for the education. That's the byproduct. That's the side piece, right? College is about connections. If you think that I'm playing, let's go look at the billionaires that have come out of there. Steve Jobs didn't create the Apple computer. His boy Woz did. But they met because of school. Mark Zuckerberg didn't create Facebook out of nowhere. He met the Boss twins. And that's how he created Facebook. Connections. It matters. So when you're at school, yes, if you don't want to go into tech, find somebody that you can be friends with that y'all cool. And now you're the money guy and that dude's the tech guy or girl. Lock in. Please, I'm begging you, lock in. Lock in. Employees are the liability. So yes, robots are the future. Take robotics, learn AI, think of the future. I say that for facts. Look, everybody's like, oh my God, you know, you're using AI for this and you're using AI for that, or you did blah, blah, blah. And I don't know why. Do you know that every movie that you watch that makes $1 billion, you like Avengers, you like Black Panther, you like I don't know, any sci-fi or anything that you want to name, AI. We use the system right now for videos to edit them out. We will be using it for the Chaos Club. That is the same thing that every movie studio uses. We're using that same system. There's a lot of AI in it. So stop talking about, well, they use this or they use that. If you go to Twitter now, if you put up a poster or something, it'll say created with AI. Like it's a negative. Why is that a negative? People like to fight new technology. Don't fight it. Roll with it. It's going, I promise you, it's going nowhere. It is absolutely going nowhere. Tech is definitely the way to go. It's just the facts. That's just the facts. So I wanted to, that's my soapbox for today. I want to get on that. Like, please, athletes, I'm begging you. Like, I'm absolutely, with everything in me, I'm begging you guys, just do it a little bit different. Take some consideration into that. And parents, I know you're going to turn around and tell your kid, no, it's about the education. Above 90% of people who went to college and got a degree don't work in the field they got a degree in. And I'm the big fella, so I'm going to stand right here on this business and let you go look that up. Every single adult knows another adult that went to school for something that they don't do. I'll wait. I'm just going to sit here on business and wait. College is not about the education. It is the byproduct. You're there, so why not get it? But college is about the connections. If you walk into a bank and you look up on the wall and that guy or girl went to college with you and you're trying to get a business loan, I promise you, you and that person having common ground is going to help you more than the person that walks in that bank and has never been to that college. If you think I'm playing, why do you think college football and basketball is so popular? It's such, why do you think these kids are making millions? Some of them make more than rookie contracts in the sport that they're in for the pros. Do you know why? Because it's my alma mater. I went there. My grandmother went there. My grandfather went there. My daddy went there. My cousins go there. We went there as a family. That's who we are. It's as good as our last name. That's the same. We bleed it. Connections. And you don't ask them, were they the A student? Hell, they might not even got a degree. They just went to school there and then they decided, I'm not going to finish, and they left, but they're still there. They went to school there. They know the professors you know. So you feel you still there tailgating with them. That's facts. So make the connections while you're there. Don't be selfish. Football, basketball, whatever it is you do while you're in school, next time you go to one of these parties, don't just go there to drink and have fun. Go there to meet somebody that does something. Do that for me. Next time you go to school, go to a party, do that. If you're in high school, one of those people that you go to high school with that you probably don't talk to is going to be a judge, a lawyer, a senator, a president. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, something, but they're going to be something. And you guys have something in common. But you don't speak to that person because they don't do what you do. They don't hang out where you hang out. Change that. Change that. All right, let's push. Right? Yeah, don't stay behind. Let's go. We took care of Rico. We took care of the robots. Hey, man, look, let's go with pro, not pro. Talking about college sports and what it is and the way rules need to change. You guys need to know it because it affects you. Then we're going to get to coast to coast.
We're all waiting on older players. The game is better because it's older. They're 25, 26. I laugh and say the guy got 2 kids and his wife and he's on his second wife. And
it's being a pro. It's what being a pro basketball player is.
Yes.
But, John, you say go pro. Some would argue this is professional basketball. It is professional sports now.
It's amateur basketball.
It's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
But, well, then let's just call it pro and let it be a pro basketball.
Well, but when first of all, it was pro basketball before NIL, and I'll tell you why. Amateur sports don't make billions of dollars and pay their coaches and administrators millions. There is nothing about this that has ever been amateur once the money jumped up. And it started in 1984 with the U.S. Supreme Court ruling that allowed the conferences to sell their media rights. There is no difference between the media rights contracts with the NCAA from a media company like ours and the NFL, the NBA, and Major League Baseball. Zero difference. And right now, when we're talking about this, we're kind of taking an old school mentality of, hey, it used to be a certain way, and that's fine. But if we want players to stay, then sign them to long-term contracts and put buyouts in them. But the NCAA doesn't want to do that because they don't want them to be employees. They want to beg Congress for an antitrust exemption, and they're not going to get it. What other multi-billion-dollar industry is getting an antitrust exemption from Congress? There isn't one. What the NCAA should do is make rules that don't violate federal law. The rest of American business has to do it. They can do it too.
Well, that's the one major difference then, right? Like that's the difference between being an NBA or NHL. There are rules and regulations. Also, there's a CBA. The players have a voice. The coaches have a voice. We don't have any of those guidelines.
Because they don't want it.
Exactly.
The NCAA does not want it. And like when it drives me crazy when people say, well, we used to talk about education. What's stopping you from talking about education? If a player's not interested in education, then don't take the player. You know, and if you don't like transfers, don't take transfers. But you know what everybody wants to do? They want to win. Like none of these schools is going, we have the highest GPA. They're going, we've been to 6 Final Fours. They want to win, and they're going to pay what's necessary to win.
But you got to find a balance because I don't care what, with collective bargaining, it's a professional sport. All those things sound great. But in the end, these are 17 to 18-year-old kids. They're
not kids.
Well, yeah,
it's called men's college basketball. They're adults.
That's just rhetoric.
No,
17-year-old is not an adult.
They're adults.
17-year-old is a developing young person.
That's different. You say developing young man. Developing young man is still an adult. They get charged with a crime. They're charged as an adult.
Can I just say this? Yeah. I've been one that has promoted young people making money 15 years ago. They're NIL. They should be able to do this. We just got to figure out Maybe it's collective bargaining. Maybe it's collective bargain with the trade union at the players, and we come up with something. This is not sustainable. If you don't want it to sustain, then say, let's just keep going as is. I'm in this. I mean, I don't mind kids transferring. I don't. But I'm saying, do we really want them to be able to go every year? And then you say, well, coach can. Well, if I left, my players can leave. If I leave, there is a buyout in there. So I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but I do know this. The transfer and the length of eligibility. A 17-year-old playing against a 28-year-old is not healthy and safe. It's just not.
There needs to be some kind of years of qualification.
And why in football do they make them stay 3 years? Because they say it's not safe.
No, that's not why. The NFL has a collective bargaining agreement.
You and I could go back and forth on this and have some fun with it.
But they determine, so that's a great point. Like the NFL, it used to be 4 years. You know, college football is 50 years older than the NFL. And the NFL used to have, or excuse me, the NCAA used to have a rule way back in the day that when the NFL was getting going, that if you worked in professional sports, you could no longer work in college sports. So the NCAA, the NFL came to the NCAA on bended knee and said, please don't do this to us. You'll kill us as we're getting going. We won't draft your players until they graduate. And then they started drafting them after 3 years. You know why? Not because they're mature enough now. It's because the USFL started drafting juniors, and they had to keep up. That's all it is. That's a collective bargaining issue for eligibility for the draft and nothing more. The NBA has an eligibility issue that says 1 year after your high school graduation and you're in. So that's a pro thing, not a college thing. And the colleges the NCAA will not adjust to this. They never have. And they've used the word unsustainable for 50 years now, and the money keeps going up. The ratings are higher than they've ever been right now.
Hey, so listen, I know that was a longer video. I hope you guys really dialed into it. There was a lot of good information in there. Coach Cal had a good point when he said about, you need to understand the transfer portal, and that's not going to get better with the 5 years. You understand? It really isn't. Yes, a 17-year-old is not competing. Melo's son just found that out, right? Melo, that's the one thing you can't hide. Whether you're an NBA, Carlos Boozer's kids are doing well because he built them to be ready to be men, young men playing in college, even at 18, instead of being 17, 18-year-old boys or girls. This is why I said, if you're with a trainer and your trainer's not preparing you for that life, then you are behind and your trainer sucks. And I'm saying that, and I stand on that. Because at the end of the day, if you want to go up there and compete, you're not going to compete with somebody that's 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 if you're not physically ready. And that's the difference between Carlos Boozer's kid and Melo's kid. Braun's youngest son is at Arizona. He's having a hard time. He's not killing the game, but he's more than willing to walk it down. He's not like his brother. He's willing to walk that down and learn some stuff and build himself up. So even with pros and their kids, they're now finding out, like, yes, your kids got the leg up because they're your kid, but they're getting there and they're finding out, wait, I'm not ready. I'm not built like that yet. And so that's still holding them up because it's an older game now, right? That's why it's a better game. I agree with all of that too. But I think the point being made, as you saw about the NFL and the way that things control other things, college is controlled by the pros. When it comes to antitrust, I was talking about it. I don't know if a lot of you know. Please go look it up if you don't. It affects everything and everyone. I don't know if you know that DOJ just opened up an investigation into the NFL for basically antitrust. You know what I'm saying? Monopolizing and stopping competition with messing with them. So you guys need to understand these things. It's bigger than everything. That's why the NCAA makes the rules they make, and it's also why they don't make the rules they make. Everybody thought, like they said before, even as a coach, everything was made because of coaches. If you're a college coach and you become a pro coach, it used to be you could no longer coach in college sports. The NFL said, hey, nope, doesn't work. That will hurt business. They changed it. They didn't change it for the players. They changed it so coaches can make money and float between the two and make it a great situation for them. Now it's a great situation for the athletes. So I'm all on board with that. And every rule better be made to take the athletes into consideration, because that's not going back the other way. So parents, again, stay up on your business. You know where I'm at, man. You know where to find me if you don't know. Parents are jumping into this recruiting thing and finding out the hard way that it's like taking the bar for a law to become a lawyer, right? That's what you might as well be pre-med to go through the recruiting process and understand the intricacies of it, especially now that there's no actual scholarship, but it's a financial contract. So you got to know what you're signing, when you're signing, and what you're doing. You can't leave it up to your kids. You can't do any of that other stuff. You got to be able to delve into that thing and know what's up. Again, I'm going to tell you to go to ccprospects.com, because Complete College Prospects walks you through all that. Man, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have a choice but to say that. And that's the difference. That's why it's not a recruiting company. That's why it's not an exposure company. It does everything. That's why Complete College Prospect also does students, everyday students, because it encompasses everything. And this thing is complicated. You now have companies out there that have everyday scholarships, and they charge you a membership fee to even have access to just regular old ass scholarships for education. That's the world we live in. So parents, don't be the type of person that refuses to ask for help. You're going to need it. If you don't understand it, you've never been through it, I promise you, you don't want to try to tread these waters on your own. Find somebody that can help you through it. Just know that some people are going to make you pay significantly for less product. It's period. But I agree with everything that was just said. I agree with all the points that were being made, except for when Cal was trying to say that, these are kids. They're not. These are adults. He was correctly right. The analogy was correct. If these athletes are charged, if they commit a crime, they're going to be charged as adults. So then they're adults. If there was a draft, they're going to go to war like adults. So then they're adults. So we need to stop acting like we tend to use the kid thing in order to like gain sympathy, to change things in a certain direction. It's a hot button word, right? But there's a point when you're not. That's just the facts. There's a point when you're not. And when you're participating in college, you're not. Yes, you're your parents' kid, but you're not a kid. My son is a kid. He'll be a baby then until the day I die. He'll be this little bitty kid, like this, you know what I'm saying, that is hilarious and has chubby cheeks and is adorable. He'll always be that. But that's because he's my kid. But if he walked into a building, I promise you, nobody's looking at him and thinking that that's a kid. So let's stop that. I agree with that. Let's stop all that. And if you stop looking at it like that, then you'll understand that you got to get down to the business, because you wouldn't walk into a place and go in there and not read the contract. You wouldn't go into a place and not try to negotiate the best deal. But you're looking at this as, oh, it's just a game or it's just a sport. Stop that. You're hurting your athlete. You're hurting your athlete. Let me see this comment. Players should have the same ability to transfer just like coaches. Facts. Let's push. Let's go coast to coast. We'll come back, but let's go coast to coast. Mark Gibson with his 5 athletes. Again, nice set of athletes. I'm locked in on them. I like everything that my guys are my guys. Like, they look. Tropium magazine is we have I know the April edition is coming out. That's a regular edition. All things that are magazine, but every other month starting in May is athletes from around the world, and it's just high school and youth athletes from around the world. I think they're putting up 50 athletes in every edition, so there'll be a Tropium magazine every month. So now every other month will just be that, right? Mark, Kevin, Jason, coach over at Nationwide. I know there's some more. They're the only ways to even get in. And of course, the big fella. You know what I'm saying? We're the only way for you to get into that edition. We want that to be the athletes that have passed mustard and whether it's a youth athlete coming up, but they still take care of business at home and in the books and everything else, and they're taking care of business in their sport, they're going to get in. High school, same thing. You're going to get in. If you're missing something, you're not going to get in. But they've earned the right to have that kind of power because they're out here scouring the entire United States, and in some cases outside the United States, to find athletes doing what they do. So Kevin Moses and Mark Gibson are banging it out, and so it's important. And Mike Mutz over in New Jersey, future elite. I'm gonna miss people, high school sports stars. There's just so many, man, that are in the firm that are out there doing what they got to do and finding these athletes. So those are your only ways in the magazine when it comes to the 50 every other month. So reach out to these men and get locked in. Again, it's why Complete College Prospects. This is the network that is locking in for you. The studios here, Blueprint Studios here at the Who's Up Next show. I mean, at Complete College Prospects, which is where the Who's Up Next show is. Now with the photography and everything else, where do you think the graphics are being created and everything else? Everything is being like, there's a whole network behind what you get here. Why do you think? I've said it before. Why do you think that we don't block any of those other companies that think they're being spies and like looking to see what we do? We don't block them because you can't, we're not the same. We're not the same. We're cut from a different cloth. What those other companies could do is come be a part of the firm and have to be held to a higher standard, but we're not the same. We don't do it the same. We don't operate the same, because at the end of the day, our foundation as a corporation, as a family, is built on one thing: athletes first. Period. That's not money first. That's not coaches first. That's not schools first. That's not life first. Athletes first. Everything that revolves around them. Students first. Everything that revolves around them. Athletes and students. And I separate it only because we deal with regular everyday students as well, but they're first. That's period. So, bam. So let's get into Mark Gibson. Coast to coast.
Yeah. From the baseline to the logo. You know the name. Mark Gibson, go coast to coast, coast to coast. If you got skill, he'll find it out. Day after day, that's the Gibson way, blowing the mains on the Who's Up Next show. Mark Gibson, go coast to coast, coast to coast. If you got heart, then let it show. Day after day, that's the Gibson way. If you got diamond, he gon' know. From the driveway out to the packed out stands. If you hustle on the hardwood, he got eyes on the lane. From the east side jails to the west side courts, he can nothing, never sitting like a highlight sports. Spin move, step back, crowd go nuts. He already seen the tape, he don't need no luck. If he running in the dark, running extra drills, he gon' pull up, sit back, say I like that skill. Mark Gibson, go coast to coast, coast to coast. If you got skill, he'll find you though. Day after day, that's the Gibson way, blowing them names on the Who's Up Next show. Mark Gibson, go coast to coast, coast to coast. If you got heart, then let it show. Day after day, that's the Gibson way. If you got Damon, he gon' know. Small town kid with the taped up shoes to the city park star on the evening news. If you like him in, running lines all summer, he gon' pull your clip, make it far rank number from the back. Boy gang to the shot clock buzz, every sleeper in the gym, yeah, you know who was. If you want that shine, that'll bring that fire, 'cause Mark Gibson now, he'll build a future, he'll buy. Mark Gibson, he'll find it all. Day after day, that's the Gibson way, blowing them names on the Who's Up Next show. Mark Gibson, go coast to coast, coast to coast. If you got heart, then let it show. Day after day, that's the Gibson way. If you got game, then he gon' know. He gon' know.
Hey, welcome back. It's the Who's Up Next show. You know what it is. It's your boy, the big fella. Hey, so parents, apparently, well, the parent was still better than me when I was filming my kid. I don't know what was happening with the one football player. I think he's a slot back. Your mom or dad was sliding with the camera, so it would go on you, looked really good. When you completed everything and caught the ball, it would get dark. Man, tell your parents to straighten up their game on that. You are amazing at what you do. We want to see everything. I still want to make sure the video was up. That's why we put it up. And trust me, I had to stop being the one recording my own kid, because that video, like, you'd be sick if you tried to watch one of the videos I was recording. That camera was everywhere because I'm hyped up watching the thing and I'm not paying attention to what I was doing. So I'm not knocking your parents at all. The big fella was terrible at it. I had to make sure somebody else was doing it. But hey, at least they did videotape it, and I love that. So parents, make sure y'all dialed in, because you never know when your kid's video is going to be on a show or whatever, the news. That's where these highlights come from, type stuff. And we just want to make sure you're dialed up and giving your kid the best look. When I think about the amount of kids, and we're talking about high school, so I can say that, the amount of kids that participate in sports, I've been putting off this episode that I wanted to have on the show, because I was sent a bunch of kids dying from fentanyl, from things being laced that they didn't know. I'm finding out that fentanyl's being put in vape pens, fentanyl's being put in ibuprofen, and just the amount of deaths that have been sent my way. And after the memorial I did a few weeks ago, I just needed a break to not do that. I will get that up. You young kids, right? Hey, even you high school young men and women, be very careful, man. I don't envy the world that you guys live in. The only thing that my mom ever had to tell us was, if you have a drink and you put it down, you don't go back to that drink. Simple. We didn't have to worry about, if I take ibuprofen from someone, that it might, like, I have a headache and now I die. We didn't have to worry about that. There was a 9-year-old that just had the level of THC in his system made him extremely sick, and he was in the hospital. It was all over the news because a kid brought gummies to school that had a super high concentration of THC in it. And the kid, like, I didn't even know that was something that could happen to someone. And it was painful to watch. I really want you guys to be careful. I don't want to tell you not to trust, because you got to trust someone, but I don't know who you can. Outside of your parents, maybe, because not all of them are great. Your siblings, maybe, but not all of them are great. I don't know. Again, I don't envy what you're growing up in or what you're going through, but if, before you put something into your mouth, please, like, I don't know what to say. The gummy one kills me, because so you can't take candy from a friend. I mean, you're in school, who doesn't do that? You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to keep seeing you die. I think that's the hardest part of this, is watching kids die for stupid ass things. And even the kids that gave it to you didn't know. The kid that gave out the gummies didn't even know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what you should do or not do. I just know you've got to be careful. Don't take, like, I don't know. I want to be like, don't take anything unless it's somebody you know. But who knows? We live in a time where it's just dumb. And I don't have answers for you. Just tread carefully. Be as careful as possible. That's really all I could give you and hope for the best. But I will be adding the show that's on the fentanyl and the deaths, and it's terrible. But this is the Who's Up Next show. It's the people show. So we talk about everything. If it affects these athletes and students' lives, we talk about it. So if you come to the Who's Up Next show and you're just here for the highlights, that's the wrong thing. If you just here for talk about sports, then that's wrong. The NCAA, that's wrong. We talk about everything here. And we talk about everything because we don't know who the message is for. We don't know who needs it. We don't know who needs to hear it. I'm hoping if just bringing up being careful saves one kid's life, then the job is done. Again, I don't have the answers. Talk to your parents. See what they suggest. Talk to someone, but be careful. It's scary. You know, my kid is in college now, and it's still terrifying to me that someone will slip something into something or give him something that would hurt him, whether they knew it or not. I don't know what to do. But I know that you need to speak to someone. You need to ask questions. And just hope for the best. Like these are those hard conversations. When you don't, I wish that I could just turn around and have an answer for you and say, hey, this is what you should do. And then we know that you're going to be safe if you do this. But that's not possible. But just be careful. They are putting fentanyl in everything. I know if you catch someone giving you fentanyl in anything or one of your friends, this is not going to be the popular thing. But I'm the big fella. Depending on how it goes down, if you catch someone trying to slip something on you, put hands on them. I have to say it. Look, I know I'm gonna get a lot of pissed off people. I don't actually care, because if it's my kid, I'm telling them they tried to hurt you. Fentanyl will kill you. I'm not saying you should harm them, but you need to grab them, put hands on them, and turn them over to the police department, because I don't know what else to do. One of the videos that was sent to me, the kid was like 10, and they're dead. I think the oldest kid was like 16. If that was my 9-year-old, if you haven't seen the video, I will never show it. It's so horrible. I will never show it on this show. If you saw that 9-year-old, I would kill someone if that was my kid. I saw something that I didn't know was possible. I honestly didn't. I didn't know that THC could do something like that to a child, or a human in general. And it was terrible. I don't know. Maybe that's not the right thing. I don't know. Make sure their ass goes to jail, though. Don't try to keep it a secret. Don't try to be like, oh, but that's my friend, though. No, fentanyl will kill you. Fentanyl will absolutely kill you. So please, I'm begging you, be careful. Be careful. Be vigilant in what goes in your mouth. And please, 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 if you see it, talk to someone. Tell someone. Save a life. Just please, please. I've been adamant that my son gets meds from me, and I provide him meds to take to school. It's extremely. There you go, right there. There you go. I was waiting for some damn answer. There you go. Parents, if you need to make sure that your kid has medication, you could give it to the nurse's office at high school and elementary, for them to give out to your kid specifically. You can leave it at the nurse's office. I do know that. And they will give your kid the medication that you gave your kid. In college, send your kid with medication. If they don't have it, order it from and get it to them, but do not let them take it from other people. There you go. Great save. Thank you. That's an answer. That's an answer. Love it. Love it. Yes, you could be saving a life. Yep. CCP does it. E-money, facts. There no one does more for kids than complete college prospects. That's just facts. Let's go. Hit World.
Screen replay on loop, chest thump hard in the suit, face mask dirt in your tooth, stand up, shake off the truth. You slip, they laugh in your face. You trip, get cut from the race. That clip, they cut and they pace. Turn shame to fuel for the chase. Hit world, it's that hit world. We do it for the love of the game, that hit world. Can't reach fame if you can't take pain. It's that hit world. You wanna be an athlete? No sleep in this hit world. Hit world, it's that hit world. We do it for the love of the game, that hit world. Hard, echoing bones, stadium shaking your soul, handshake tightening the tape, walk back, hide in the air. They cheer when you rise again, they cheer when you fold and bend. Choose now, crumble or climb, make that low like prime time. Hit world, it's that hit world. We do it for the love of the game, it's that hit world. Can't reach fame if you can't take pain, it's that hit world. You wanna be an athlete? No sleep in this hit world. Hit world, it's that hit world. We do it for the love of the game, it's that hit world.
You know what it is. Hey man, Hit World is like that. Hit World is there for let's just be honest. Everybody loves the smacks and the accidents and the fails and everything else. So I'm not gonna act like people don't love it. What I will say is I also show it so that people can appreciate the fact that athletes put themselves, there's no such thing as something you do that won't harm you, that can't harm you, right? Somebody might be like, well, basketball, if you playing basketball, you might not get hurt. I know a dad who was trying to like play basketball to show out for his son and went up for a dunk and blew out both knees. Just when he came down, nothing else happened. Nobody else present, nothing. Went, obviously missed the dunk, came down, blew out both knees. I've seen a quarterback throw a pass, nobody touch him, shoulder out of place. Athletes put their body through immense stress. And if you want to see it at its max, watch a pitcher throw a pitch in slow motion. Your body is not supposed to operate like that. The amount of stress that athletes put on their bodies to perform needs to be appreciated and understood. The sacrifice. And so Hit World is for the entertainment, but it's also so you can see like everything is in glitter and gold. And that's it. And just appreciate it on both sides. As an athlete, if I get laid out, I want you to appreciate the whole thing. I'm happy that you came and that you're in the seat. So as long as I get up, I'm not dead or anything or torn completely up. I want you to have enjoyed the thing and appreciate what I did for you in front of you because you're the fan. Every athlete is, yes, athletes are, of course, you want to get paid, right? But I promise you, every athlete is performing for you. They don't even know you, but they know you're in the stands. They know you're watching the TV. They're performing for you. That's just facts. No one would do this stuff if the only person that they were going to get love from was themselves or their family. There's a lot easier ways to get that done. So you're important as a fan. Appreciate it all. Why do you think the thumbs up was invented when a guy gets hit and hurt on the field in football? It was for parents and for you guys. That's how important the fan is. The thumbs up was created so that you guys would know, hey, I'm all right. We're going to get up and get up out of here. It's going to be fine. That's what it was created for. You, the fan, are important. You, the parents, are important. The value is immense. So appreciate it all. That's why I said, even the bad performances, you can be pissed off, right? You can be pissed off when an athlete doesn't do well or your team loses or whatever, but appreciate that they went out there and they tried. And if you find out that they were out partying the night before, or they're not doing whatever, yeah, then you should say whatever you want to say, because they're not appreciating that you went to watch them play. I understand that. But if they just lose because they had a bad game, that's kind of whatever. You got to let that go. That's why I show Hit World. That's why we show Hit World. I've been debating this whole show about this kid, right? So the kid will not get an interview, but we created the video for the kid, right? So I don't want to, the kid's not going to get an interview. That's done. I wasn't going to put the kid's name out there, but I'm going to show the video. That's at least, and I'm doing that for the hard work of the Who's Up Next Show team, right? I'm not doing that for the kid. I'm doing it for the team, because the team went, clipped everything, put everything together so that it could be shown for the kid. I won't even rate it. Like, I'm not going to rate the film or anything, because the kid didn't take care of business. So coaches, I'm not co-signing anything. But I do want to show the film, and it's terrible. I think it's dumb that the kid didn't come on, because it's a talented kid. And I know what I wanted to score the kid. But I do want to show the video because we have it, and it's in the queue. So I definitely want to show that. But it's just, look, man. Before I give this any love, every athlete that was shown on, if I put you on, if you're on Mark Gibson's Coast to Coast, if you're on Watchtower, listen, you don't have to wait for them to reach out to you for an interview. All you got to do is hit the show over on Twitter. If you've been showcased on this show, two things are happening, right? Every athlete that has been shown on any of these are up for Athlete of the Year, male and female Athlete of the Year at the end of the year. We just had our very first inaugural ceremony of war show of that. If you have been showcased, if Mark or any of them put you on, Mike Butts, anybody, they put you on this show, you are up for Athlete of the Year. And the voting will start in November to get it narrowed down. And then the final votes will start in December to get us to the final people that get voted in as the male and female Athlete of the Year. Coach of the Year, Writer of the Year. So Mike, all you guys keep doing what you're doing, because we want to see that. And that's where we are, right? I think we're probably going to add in Parent of the Year, stuff like that. So you don't have to wait to be asked for an interview. You just have to hit us up and say that you're available on a Sunday. You ain't got to do nothing else. If you hit the show up on Twitter and say, hey, I was on Mike Gibson's Coast to Coast. I'm available on this Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific. You're going to get dialed in. You get first priority because you've been put on the show by the people that are out there searching. So there you go. That's your invite. Don't say we never told you. I don't know if Mark, Mike, or Kevin or Jason or any of them are telling you, because I think they rely on me to tell you. But there you go. You have an open invite. All you got to do is go over there and say, I'm available on this Sunday. And then we're going to get you on the schedule so that you could be on it for a live interview. And then your full highlights. So that's any of you. And again, you're up for Athlete of the Year at the end of the year. So congratulations on being locked in for that too. All right, man, let's get into this kid, Abbott. You'll see what I mean. It's just too bad that he didn't come.
I wake up late, scroll my fade. Everyone's a winner on my phone. I tie my shoes, pay my dues, still feel like I'm running all alone. I'm trying to be the best version of me, the one that everybody says they want to see, but I'm stuck in between who I am, who I'll be. And it's loud in my head, yeah, it's crowd in my sleep. I'm trying to be the best version of me, the one that the people want me to be. Can't stay an amateur, I got pro dreams, never forgotten, I stick like memories. If I fall flat, I'll rewind the scene, laugh at the takes where I'm low-key weak. I'll be a mess till I find my key, still trying to be the best version of me. Hey! My
My mom says rest, my brain says grind. My friends say you're doing just fine. I changed my hair, changed my mind. Still I'm scared getting left behind. I'm trying to be the best version of me, but every little flaw feels like it's on TV. I'm learning that the cracks make a light I can't see.
Yo, what up? Welcome back to the Who's Up Next show. Too bad for the kid. You know what I'm saying? That's the most I give. You are not up for the Athlete of the Year. I just want to make sure we show the video. You guys saw what I saw. I really wish the kid had came on the show. But yeah, and we used our newest song. You know what I'm saying? Every song that you hear on the Who's Up Next show is a original of the show. Belongs to the show, copyrighted to the show. So we used our newest cut on him. And so I'm super, super, super disappointed that he didn't come on. Yes, you could be. Oh, that's old. So yeah, I'm super disappointed. But hey, we got him. We did what we did. We put it on. There you go. Next week on the show, I really want to. You know what? I've talked about the fentanyl. I'm not putting a video up. I appreciate everybody that sent them to me. If I'm talking about it, and I won't stop. I promise you. The video clips you see are things that I get sent to the show all the time, and so then I get it in, I put it up, and I do whatever. I promise you, the same way I talk about Special Olympics, I will discuss fentanyl regularly and promote kids being careful regularly. But I'm not gonna do the video. I just came to terms with that right now. Sometimes you don't need to see something to understand something. I will try to reach out to the families to see if I could get good videos of their kids, happy videos. And then I'll do something like that in the course of discussing fentanyl. But yeah, let's do that. I'll do that. I promise you that I'll do that. But I will keep being an advocate for being careful and being safe. I promise you it wasn't wasted. I will talk about it ad nauseum, and I will make sure that it is in post and repeated. You can check our Twitter page and our social media in general, and you will notice that we'll start putting that stuff up about awareness. I promise you that. But we'll figure it out. But there you go. You have my word on that. We will do that for sure. We are going to, again, for those that weren't on the show at the beginning, we had put up the changes with the NCAA when it comes to that they're going to go to 5 years straight. They're voting on it this week. I guarantee you it's going to pass. And I know people were talking about them putting it off. I've talked to some coaches that have said that they're going to try to put it off for a couple of years, but I also know the NCAA is trying to beat some lawsuits, so they're trying to implement it in the fall. We'll see what happens. If you're already a college athlete, don't worry about it. You're going to get grandfathered in because they can't do anything other than that. If I'm being real, though, if you have the time left and I give you a choice, I would take the 5. That's 5 playing years compared to taking the just the regular old whatever. If you live on the West Coast, or like I said before, west of the Mason-Dixon or Mississippi, whatever terminology you know, I wanted to put up the D1 map, and it looks the exact same for D2, D3. JUCOs look a little more heavy because of California. But for the most part, this map looks the same no matter what. When you are on the West Coast and you see that you've got 1 offer, 2 offers, maybe 3 offers, and you see your counterpart on the East or the South or the Northeast, and they've got 20, 30 offers, it's because the schools are so much closer. I said it earlier, if you live in North Carolina, you're within 100 miles. That's driving distance on any given day of maybe 6 D1 schools. If you're in Texas, Texas is its own population by itself, tons of D1s down there. So you're going to see people get more offers than you just because of where they are. So it's important that if you're going to go to a college camp, that's where you need to be. If you're going to go play AAU, you better be traveling over that way. If you're going to be playing in the ENCL or EBYL, all of that stuff, you need to make sure that you're going out that way. Volleyball, everything, whatever it is, you need to compete on that side of the country so that you can get maximum exposure. Here's the map. This is just D1. Do not get discouraged if you live to the west. But this is the reason that less schools see you. And it seems like it's so much harder to get what you're looking for, is because you're not in this congested area. If you just look in the Great Lakes area, up by the Lake Michigan and all that, look at how many D1s are just populated there. Even in small places like New York, New Jersey, Maryland, things like that, you can see it. It's just heavy. It's heavy, heavy, heavy. So make sure that you're competing in the correct places. Parents, don't waste money. It's important that you put your money in the right places and maximize every dollar. Maximize every single dollar that you spend. Find someone like me that could do that will point you in the right directions, or take your butt to Complete College Prospects and become a member. Look, I know what it costs to come train with me, but at Complete College Prospects, it's $100 for a lifetime membership because it's always about the kids. And then you get all of the firm behind you and the 22 simulators that go through everything from training to school work to college acceptance to everything. NIL, everything. You know what I'm saying? Parent simulators. And there you go. And if you have a question about where you stand, the new intake form in the Zoom will allow you to see online, it's on the screen in front of you, where you are in the where you score recruiting wise about being ready to go for college and everything like that. That's in there now. So all you got to do is go over and set up, a meeting with someone, and you could do it that way. There's supposed to be a webinar. If not enough people do it, sign up, it'll get pushed to other things. The webinar will be, man, let me see if I can find a stupid form. Hold on. Oh, I can't because I'd have to come out of this thing. So anyway, I'll find a way to put it up on YouTube. It's already up on Twitter and everywhere else. But that webinar is next Saturday. It's supposed to be on the 18th. I think it's at like 9:00 Pacific. We'll let you see behind the scenes. Like a lot of the pages are private at CompleteCollegeProspect.com, ccprospects.com. So you'll get a chance to see everything. You'll see the simulators. You'll see all the other stuff that gets done and why it's the only place that your kids should be. Going to NCSA and paying $2,500 is insane when you don't get anything. There's some other ones. I just don't feel like naming them. Rival, like why? You know what I'm saying? It tastes like dirty socks in my mouth, so I don't want to say it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you should go. The proof is right there. If you got nothing else, right? If you got nothing else but access to the website, is worth more than that $100. And Complete College Prospects follows you all the way through till you're done playing sports. Got your back all the way through. You become a pro, you need some help from Complete College Prospects. The company is there for you. Facts. One membership. It's like Lord of the Rings, one ring to control them all. Bam. So there you go. That's what I recommend. That's what it is. Go out there, have a good day. Try to be the best person you could be today for you. Change something. Make a promise to yourself about something you're going to do this week. to increase your ability to go where you're going. Athletes, if you're preparing for college or you're getting, this is the end of the year and you got school next year, go back and look and see if you could go fix some of the stuff about what classes you're taking. All of you guys have technology. I've shown you that AI is going to rule the world. So go figure out a way to think where you, when you become a pro, where you can put your money. Because I've told you before, and I tell everybody that I train, the most important person on the team is not the athletes, not the coaches, not the trainers, not anyone else in the organization. It's the owner of the team. The owner of the team takes no injuries, accepts way more money. If you are excited because LeBron James has a max contract, Steph Curry has a max contract, Tom Brady gets a max contract, remember that there is somebody that is paying those checks and it doesn't matter to them. That's facts. Remember that. Remember that. If there's 7 people on the team, whatever the salary cap is for a team, the owner is paying that and not blinking an eye. Drops in the bucket. So if you're going to become an athlete, become an owner. Michael Jordan just became the first minority owner who has his driver just won 5 of his last 6 races. And it's never been done before. So owning the NBA, owns Jordan brand, owns in NASCAR, has his foot in boxing, has his foot in basketball, baseball, soft, everywhere. Owning something means something. So go out and create something and gamble on yourself. You heard it here from the big fella. You part of the guerrilla army. I love y'all. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. And I'm going to see y'all next Sunday. Let's go.
Hope you enjoyed the show.